Yo, guys, what an explosive run for Kaspa. I mean, this is the move that we were trying to see. We were waiting for, quite a while, and boom, it happened. Just all of a sudden, it just exploded. I was saying like, Bitcoin likely to retest that 100K range. I've been saying that for a while, and boom, it's already happened. So let me first start off with I'm going to be looking at Kaspa's chart right now, and then I'm going to be looking at other charts. I'm going to be looking at Bitcoin and what I think is the next macro move for the whole crypto market. Okay, so first let's go into Kaspa. Um, so here's the price. It's just wild. The absolute breakout. I said it was confirmed like for a while now. This macro breakout, and this is the type of move we have. So now on the daily, um, it's makes sense to see a nice pullback. Um, Looking on the daily chart, it's gonna likely see. I mean, it's very strong support at the 10 cent range. That's for sure. We see that in the numbers too. Don't buy on MEX. If you buy on MEXC, get it off ASAP. I gotta drain those exchanges. This is. I'm just here for. I like being able to see the 12 hour. It's a nice little um, and being able to see the time frame. So it's you could definitely see some like it's a little overbought, so it's gonna pull back. It's definitely normal. You see it across the whole crypto market. I mean, it's a pullbacks are healthy and they're normal. Um, it could pull back to around 10.5 cents, something like that. See strong support at 10 cents and even stronger support down in the 9 cent range. There could be like a FOMO sell off down to the 9 cent range. Definitely possible for Caspa. Um, and then we'll see where it wants to head from there. Um, let's go to this. But you see this type of uptrend. It's very very strong, and even on the daily, it has a little bit of weakness. But this is the type of thing where it's going to retest this, this daily moving average, and it could very much just keep powering through, or consolidate there for a little while, and that's what we've seen with Ethereum, Bitcoin when they were at this time frame of their, early in their development. They were around this level for about a month. Then they reached all-time high, just sat there for another month. So we just need some time. Like, don't worry about it. So now we're gonna go into what I think. There, first, let's go to the meme coins. You saw I was talking about this wedge pattern. Beautiful breakout, textbook breakout for Nacho. So congrats to anyone that was loading up in this wedge, especially down here or wherever you guys loaded up. That's awesome. It's a beautiful breakout, and it's gonna keep continuing. Um, Especially as Kaspa grows. Like this is a breakout. It's the macro bullish breakout that we've really like to see. And Kango as well. The breakout is very much confirmed and had a huge run. And now it's back right back down to its daily moving average. Again, extremely healthy and very good to see. So this is a beautiful chart. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is the type of um, bowl, the valley, that it's gonna power it up and it's gonna power it through to very likely all-time high in the coming year is in my opinion. But so that's with this. Okay, so let's look at now the macro crypto market. Okay, um, and even gold for example. Okay, so I'm gonna go into some charts here. Your Solana, we were saying that we were seeing these charts, these indicators speaking a similar story across the market, and boom, it's back up here. And now look at this macro moving average on the weekly. It's starting to flatten out. Now this is very, very good to see. This flattening could result into a consolidation in this range for quite some time. It could be a few weeks, a month or two. And that's okay. So that's all right. So let's look at the macro market, okay? So now I'm going to go into gold and its relationship with Bitcoin. It's very interesting. Okay, so we look across time and all right, let's go back to Bitcoin's early days. It was created largely in response to the 2008 financial crisis. Um, so that was the response, the banks failing, bank runs, everything like that, real estate collapse, everything. So Bitcoin was created in response to that, and after decades of research as well. So they found a peak and it dropped back down. And when it dropped back down, so Gold found a peak as well when Bitcoin was at a low. So it's, you look at these type of contrasting market movements between Bitcoin and gold. So here gold is at all-time high, and here Bitcoin is at essentially an all-time low. Um, Completely contrast, even though Bitcoin should be acting like gold. But Bitcoin is still, especially this early 2011, it's very much an emerging technology. So it's not the gold standard. There's not a gold standard for Bitcoin. Like, so that's, it makes sense where you see like very contrasting movement between the two. So let's zoom ahead, and from this whole period, um, what is this, October 2012 to, so this whole period was lasting about a year. What did Bitcoin do? 2012 to 2019. Oh snap. You already know this is what happened. So when gold was basically consolidating, chilling out, Bitcoin um, went to its craziness. So this is where Kaspa is right now, by the way, around the $70-$100 range for Bitcoin, the current value. So that was the first crazy run for Bitcoin, and now this whole time period, gold was just pretty much stagnant. And look at this as an emerging technology, a rival to gold. You see the two playing against each other. So now in today's age, currently, this is Bitcoin. And let's go to the weekly. And it looks, you look at it and you're like, okay, is this a double top? Is this where the market crashes? And you really have to look at how the the charts are painted by the broader economy. It's not like the other way around. It's the charts tell a story, and you have to really, the story is told by what's surrounding the world right now. Where is the economy headed? And look at gold right now, today's age. It's basically, and that's just something I was mentioning before. It looks like it's creating a double top, and that my last video is like, this could be a potential double top forming, and well, look at that, it played out. It's seeing support in this daily Bollinger. We're gonna see how this actually holds, because the weekly chart is not looking very good for gold, looking like it's very much peaking, and like peaking to the level where it's never gone before. It's never reached such a overbought um, level. So it's very much looking like this is, in my opinion, going to be a top for gold. Um, I think this is going to play out, and yeah, either be a top, or I think it's going to probably stabilize. It's very hard to tell, because this moving average is really almost looking like it's going straight up. But once you see indicators like this, and you see at the price and how much it has already grown, there's a very solid chance that it's going to it needs to have time, it needs to consolidate, and while it consolidates, a lot of this buying pressure, this liquidity is going to move somewhere else. And where's it going to move? Again, these two largely, even today, they have an inverse relationship. Even though Bitcoin should be moving like gold and acting like gold, it is at periods of time. It does react in a way that gold reacts. Like Bitcoin, it decouples from the stock market, decouples from the dollar, gold, and alike. But it decouples from an emerging technology, and we've seen Bitcoin do this time and time, and that's why it's been performing much better than the stock market, because it's not just an emerging technology, but it is also a rival to gold. It is, a rival to the fiat currency, and well, not really. It's not going to be ever peer-to-peer digital cash. That's where Kaspa steps in as the Bitcoin plus, the Bitcoin um, 2.0. It's literally Bitcoin, but 6,000 times faster. That is what Kaspa is. And it's like, people won't believe you when you say it, but you really have to break down, you have to give some links, they have to understand for themselves and see. And that's what I'm going to do in a future video. I'm going to really break it down, like the security of Kaspa and compare it to the security of Bitcoin, and you're going to see how the security of Kaspa is actually more technically more secure than Bitcoin in a sense, hashing power aside. So that's a topic for another video. I'll be very excited to work on that video because it's an incredible topic that needs to be covered more. People need to understand Caspa much better. Okay, so let's go back into this. The gold and Bitcoin. So here, gold is pretty much, in my opinion, it's going to peak at around this range, and this is where Bitcoin could be powered up from this gold. You see, when gold consolidated for basically an entire year, Bitcoin saw its ridiculous growth, like this type of ridiculous growth from 2012, 2013 to 2019. And that was when gold was chilling. So if we see gold chilling for an entire year more than a year, wait, 404 bars. This is not a year. This is 282, 2,800. Oh, let me see how many days is that. That is not a year. 282, 2828, 365. Oh my gosh, it's 7.7 years. I'm saying it's a year. No. So 7.7 years gold consolidated. How we could see the same 7.7 years consolidation here. And this is where I've been saying, like, it could very much turn out for the next decade to be a crypto renaissance, a crypto golden age powered by Kaspa. Bitcoin 6,000 times faster and growing. It's just going to keep increasing. BPS, the technology, everything is just going to keep developing and advancing. So here we are, and so during this consolidation period where gold could be headed toward, Bitcoin could be taking that liquidity, and it could just power it up. Same with the global M2. It could be taking that. It's following the global M2 very, very well. The fact that it saw that at the bottom, and this is what the global M2 was predicting, this explosive run right here, and it very much will also predict a continuation of to an all-time high. So why do I think it's gonna hit an all-time high? And the time frame for that, it's tough to say. But let's look. Okay, this is now the Bitcoin with respect to gold. Now this chart is extremely interesting. Okay, extremely interesting because Bitcoin has been following it very, very well. So this is the run it's had right now. You see, it's been basically a 30% increase in price. And let's go to the monthly chart. I mean, it's following this trend. It bounced off its mid Bollinger, the monthly, with respect to gold. Now this is Bitcoin. I mean, I have all this stuff here. Let me just, what do I do? I'll just delete this for a sec so you can see better. And delete this too for now. Look at this. It bounced, and then, I mean, it's beautiful. How well it's staying to this gold relationship where, it finds its support with respect to gold, and it just keeps powering up. It keeps going up. The trend couldn't be clearer with gold, Bitcoin with respect to gold. You look at Bitcoin with respect to the dollar, it's still very clear. I mean, it just keeps pointing up and everything, but the support, you find the support very easily when you compare it to gold. And a similar case with Kaspa with respect to gold. Kaspa with respect to Bitcoin. We saw that breakout very clearly happen at this range. You see, it's been the selling pressure has been reducing and reducing and reducing. Now finally, we could very much see consolidation. Kaspa at the 10-cent mark, something like that. The consolidation is going to be very healthy, and then it's going to just power through. It's going to create a very bullish case with Kaspa with respect to Bitcoin, while Bitcoin is doing incredible with respect to gold. So let's look. So right here, this is basically a channel that's created. Look at this channel. So this is what you have to basically look at. This is about a year. So there's about a year where it can reach a 40% increase to its current price. It's very interesting. This year, it takes it to 2026, the start of 2026. We could see Bitcoin with respect to gold increase by 40%. So, gold could be chilling at this same price for a year. It could come down a little tiny bit for an entire and stay like that for a year. And we're going to see Bitcoin doing very well. And it can be sticking to its trend, its upward macro trend. And like this is the standard. This is the standard for money. Gold is hard money. Bitcoin is hard money. Kaspa is hard money. Once you start comparing things to the dollar that have inflation, the trends aren't as clear in my opinion. But when you compare things to like the pinnacle of money, that's where things are really interesting, especially the relationships. So a 40% increase for Bitcoin with respect to gold. I mean, technically, it could put Bitcoin to 140,000. And the thing is, what we're looking at here, we're looking at a very steady channel. And with these channels, they stay within these channels, and depending on whether it's a bullish channel or a bearish channel, they break out. And this is a bullish channel, an upward channel. So what that means, it's going to keep consolidating, bouncing off these walls until it breaks out and upward. So that upward movement, that spike, it's something like this. This spike is going to take it like absolute all-time high, and that's where I'm hoping to see Bitcoin hit up to 250,000, something crazy like that. It's hard to say exactly what, but I think at 250 it could be a very much a peak for Bitcoin, down to 180,000, for example, is in my opinion like more conservative, more I guess maybe more realistic in the next year. So there we go with that. Some very interesting things, and you just look at the charts. Like you think this is where crypto dies, and this is where Bitcoin is going to fall, and everything is going to crash, and it's game over. Um, like you look at the macro trend. What's the macro trend saying? It's saying up, keep going up. But again, technically anything could happen. The economy is like crazy. So tomorrow is going to be a big day as well with inflation data. The government's going to release data regarding to inflation, see whether it's going to cut rates or do what. That's going to be important because if inflation goes down, these risk on assets are going to go up. And that could be a very bullish case for crypto and the stock market even, which has been doing also surprisingly very well. And gold could see that consolidation that we want to see, so to bring this money straight into Bitcoin to power it through. And of course, it's going to go directly into Kaspa. As we see, Kaspa is just the largest gainer from the bottom. Literally, in the last 24 hours from this period, from the bottom to the top, it was, and even down to here, like it was the largest gainer in the top 100 crypto. I mean, actually, and then after a point, Dogwif had actually outpaced it, but still, I mean, the top two, the top largest crypto, and even when it was down here and it was rising, it was powering the crypto market. It was the first to rise. The crypto market was actually down. All the major cryptos were negative, down like 2%, down 1%, while Kaspa was up something like 10%, and then it went up 15%, 20%. Crazy, really, really is crazy, and that's where you see like big. I mean, who else besides institutional big smart money is not done accumulating? They're not done accumulating Caspa, and they realize the stakes of missing out. They do not want to miss out. So what do? They double down. They do go hard on the bids because they do not want to miss the train on Caspa. They're securing their bags, and they understand where the future is headed, and they know it's going to be powered by the Endgame, the Bitcoin plus plus plus. Um, yeah. So on that note, guys, peace out, over and out.